is the leader of the Nancy Nation.
You know Prince Havoc? You know Jack Peterson?
I don't know who these people are.
It's your boy, Ryan Van Vliet. He's
right down from Bond.
The hipster heartthrob, Casanova Valentine.
You're listening to FightGeist.
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 Retribution.
We take it again?
FightGeist, the alternative wrestling podcast.
The Pro Wrestling Alternative Podcast.
The alternative podcast.
Alright, we can work with that.
Try to contain it, okay? I know it's funny.
Hall of Famer, yeah.
The greatest heavy metal band in the world, Steel Panther.
Did you get that? That was my sigh. I was sighing.
Wow. And you are going to find a rusty nail, and you're going to slit your wrist, and you're going to kill yourself. That's where you're going, Jack. You need to lighten up.
This is Stone Cold Steve Austin, right?
Yeah.
When he's driving, and you cut him off at an intersection.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
You gotta do some shrooms or something.
Have you ever seen the Attitude Adjustment? That's a move.
I'm scared because I was actually talking about the voices that I hear in my head, and I now realize we were talking about Randy Orton.
Remember when Chris Benoit killed his family and then hung himself from the weight machine? Let's do that in a match at WrestleMania.
Listen up, turn it up and rock it out. Party on, I wanna hear you scream and shout. This is real as it gets. I came to your town to get some fucking respect. Taking it back to a hardcore level. You better be ready, put your pedal to the metal. Taking it back to a hardcore level. Better be ready, put your pedal to the metal. Go! Whoa, I never give in. Whoa, I never give up. Whoa, I never give in. I just wanna be loved. Whoa, I never give in. Whoa, I never give up. Whoa, I never give in. I just wanna be loved.
I am Jack Peterson. I am Ajax. I am Mr. Clean. I'm Sex Pac. I am Tomato Man. I'm the man of 1,000 strongly worded wrestling opinions, and I'm joined every week by the man across the internet.
I'm Phil. I'm Prince Havoc. I'm too sweet. I'm Mr. Predictions. And Jack, it's the end of an era. Did you know that? Today's the end of an era?
Well, it's the end of an era in multiple ways. Not only is this the last episode before, the landmark episode that is episode 30. All right, how many times am I going to say episode in one intro? I don't know. This is number 29. We're going to change for our video podcast. We're going to change our background. We're going to change the whole setup, the whole vibe for next week. And you'll just have to come and you'll just have to find out. It's the end of an era in that way. It's the end of an era because we, let me just say, are tied in the predictions game for the first time ever. The score is 48-48. I mean, come on, that's huge. Next time we get to a pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell, you know what? I'm going to pass you. I'm going to be Mr. Predictions and Mr. Trivia all rolled up into one. That's going to happen. I can't quite claim that title yet, but at this point we can claim that we are, co-Mr. Predictions or something, and I know how much you hate me saying that. It's also the end of an era for another reason. Or at least it's almost the end of an era, because you see, pretty soon, Phil, I don't know if you heard about this, pretty soon we won't just be on Twitch.
Right. I'm unfamiliar with this information.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, inform me.
Well, in that case, Phil, it's announcement time.
Really?
Thank you, I needed that drum roll. Also kind of a knock on wood, it means a couple things there, but...
that I actually did do that on wood, so...
Oh, I know, I can tell. Yeah. And we need it. Because in just a couple of weeks, all right, starting with episode number 32. This is episode 28, so 3 weeks from now, you know what'll be happening? Something that I think everybody in the radio world is pretty much going to regret. FightGeist has not only transcended what a Twitch podcast can be, not only have we transcended what a recorded podcast can be, but it's time to expand into another medium. Because it's time for us, for Jack and Phil, for Mr. Predictions and Mr. Trivia, to take over FM radio, Phil.
What? Oh my god. This is how we take over the world, Jack. Is it not?
It's at least step one. And by the way, I love that excitement. It sounded very genuine.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I had no clue.
You're hearing this.
Yeah. This is a real, this is like a real emotion right here. It's like a reaction video, you know? This is
Exactly.
crazy.
On October 28th, that is a Wednesday, starting at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will be able to hear us if you are in the New York State area, and if you are in also parts of New Jersey and parts of, I believe, Pennsylvania and Connecticut as well. It kind of goes in a little circle around the whole area of the map right here in the Northeast, right? But definitely in New York City, right? Which, I mean, if you're not living here, where are you living? You'll be able to hear us on your car stereo. You'll hear us on your portable radio with an antenna sticking out of it if you got one of those. You'll be able to hear us on your wrestling ring-shaped radio that Phil owns. Or, you know, whatever radio of your choice, as well as something called WNYU.org. Because this week, I was officially confirmed. My application was accepted for FightGeist to debut on 89.1 FM, a New York radio station run by New York University, but expanding throughout this entire area of the country. Yeah, we're going to be debuting on FM radio. And how long did it take, honestly, before we start, making fun of a wrestler who got a very legitimate injury like we do, or before we start making jokes about Chris Benoit, or before we start, I don't know, just starting playing guitar on the radio for no reason. How long before we get kicked off, Phil?
I'll give it 30 minutes.
So halfway through the first episode, we are gone.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a pretty apt prediction, I think.
Yeah. I just want to point out that Juice Bash said that you know the sound of wood, and I found that very funny.
Oh, what are you trying to say, Juice Bash?
Yo, what are you trying to say?
Yeah. I'm throwing off my game right now because I was talking about this huge accomplishment, and then we have Juice Bash in the chat insulting me.
Hey, that's not an insult. It's just the fact that you know the sound of wood. It's not a bad thing.
Well, yeah. You're the one who knocked on the wood, so.
I'm the one with the wood.
Yeah. That's one way to put it.
Sebi said the collective is less than 2 weeks away. And yeah, it is. What do we got? We got Bloodsport, Effie's Big Gay Brunch, Spring Break 4, Joey Janela, and then a bunch of other stuff. Those are the 3 main shows.
Yeah, Phil. I never heard of it, Phil. We have something that's even bigger, and it's a tournament we've been doing here on the show.
Okay.
A couple weeks now. This is the 3rd week of it. We and unfortunately it's going to continue into FM radio territory, and they might be a little bit confused why we care so much about wrestling themes, but we do. And everybody in the chat right now seems to be pretty passionate about some of these results we've gotten, because we have 9 results to report today. We did 9 more matchups over Instagram. That's at FightGeist Wrestling. And as well as in the chat right here on twitch.tv/FightGeist Wrestling, where you can also vote if you're live in the chat. We had polls go out. We determined which theme between a set of 2 was superior. We did this with 9 different selections here. So I'm just going to read these results. I'm just going to let you know who advanced, all right? Because we have this big bracket. It's better that we do these quick and dirty little results here, and move on so we can announce the next matches you can vote on. So
hold on. Before you do this, Urka says make sure you guys repeat the name of the show a lot when you're on the radio, and both say your names a lot, like every segment. Yes. So I think we should practice that. So I think after everything that you say, we need to say your names, all right?
Yes, okay, got you.
Yes, Phil from FightGeist.
So Jack Peterson here, the host of FightGeist, joined by Philip Broccoli.
Yeah.
Decided to do this tournament, and the first result, Phil Broccoli.
From FightGeist.
Yeah, sitting here on FightGeist.
And you're Jack Peterson, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We're here across the internet from Jack Peterson, from Mr. Trivia. By the way, you can follow the show at FightGeist Wrestling. I don't know if we mentioned that, but that's where these results came from. Okay. We're at FightGeist Pod on Twitter, too, We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the bell. Is this good practice? Does this sound right?
I think it sounds right, Jack Peterson from FightGeist.
Oh, okay, great. Phil Broccoli from FightGeist. So, the Alternative Wrestling Podcast. Yeah. At FightGeist Wrestling, at FightGeist Pod. So, we have a multitude of matchups here on FightGeist.
Right.
I think I should start with this one because I was a little disappointed because, to be honest, I thought this wasn't going to be a joke, but apparently this tournament's just a fucking joke. So just put me out of my misery. All right?
Wow, Jack.
Because the Billy Gunn theme, "I'm an Ass Man" itself, just fucking won against the Mike and Maria "Here's to the Greatest Love I've Ever Known" song.
Of course it did. What? Of course it did.
I mean, I'm not saying I didn't expect it, but it's disappointing.
Disappointing? I mean, don't get me wrong. Mike Bennett and Maria's theme are great, but like Billy Gunn? Come on. There's no one that beats Billy Gunn. Well, I mean, it's not like he's gonna win the whole tournament, but you know what I mean.
Honestly, at this point, I'm starting to think he might win the whole tournament.
Maybe.
And I'm scared. People love the song. They love singing along to this ass man shit. They love that shirt that says ass man on it, you know?
Yeah.
They love a good butt joke. What is this, 3rd grade?
4th.
Oh, okay, yeah. So ass man advances. Glorious, Bobby Roode's theme. He just returned on Raw too, so it's apt.
Robert Roode? You're talking about?
Robert Roode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, making sure I got that right. That advanced against Becky Lynch's theme. A lot of these were quite close too.
That I don't get.
Close.
That one I don't get. I don't get how Bobby Roode's theme advances against Becky Lynch's theme. I mean, when he first dropped that theme, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So maybe I just overplayed it, and I don't really like it that much anymore. But yeah, I really thought more people would have picked. Whoa, what's happening? Hey, thank you, Boulevard Bullies, for the host.
Okay.
I would think that Becky Lynch's theme would have won. Like, I don't know. It also has a lot to do with me overplaying Glorious when it came out to the point where I don't like it anymore, and that's to do with us being at WrestleMania and screaming, screaming at the top of our lungs Becky Lynch's theme. So it has a special place in our heart, and also that was my birthday, first WrestleMania. So I think I'm always gonna pick Becky Lynch's theme. I might pick it to win. That's how much it means to me. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. Very weird. Not that good, Sebi. Lynch's theme is okay, but not that good. Wow, okay. Whatever.
Your pick did get eliminated in the first round, unfortunately. Becky Lynch's theme is definitely a theme I like, and yeah, screaming it at WrestleMania when she won the belt at WrestleMania 35 was great. Everybody in the arena screaming it. The people who flew all the way from Ireland to see her win that match.
The ones that gave me a blanket and an umbrella when I was dying.
Yeah, those ones. Yeah. Was very cool, but when it comes down to it, we were probably only singing that song because Bobby Roode was not on the card. I think we'd be singing that Glorious song like I did at NXT TakeOver when he won the belt. Or maybe, wait, when he lost the belt. That's the one I was at. And also on top of that, Becky Lynch's theme, honestly, it's just one word, isn't it? Just oh.
Yeah, but that's Nakamura's theme.
The Nakamura's theme, it doesn't have words. Well, now it does with the rap.
Well, it did. The ones that people were voting for. But it's just a one-word thing.
It's not. No, wait, what?
Yeah.
Nakamura's theme does not have one word.
Yeah, it's the same thing as Becky Lynch. It's a sing-along thing.
Oh, well, you can sing along. Okay,
his original theme, not his new dumb theme that you can't sing along to. Hate that.
Yeah, good point. So we had that. Glorious advanced over Becky Lynch, unfortunately. And I have a feeling that'll go a long way, too. But I don't know. I have no idea, honestly. People maybe don't have the same thoughts about that song as they did when it first came out. But
no.
The theme that it will face in the next round is going to be The Brood. The Brood. A lot of people love that theme. I think it's cool, but it's not one of my favorites. That actually advanced in a pretty wide margin over The Rock's theme. Break the Wall Down.
I couldn't vote on that one. I put my phone down. I couldn't do it. But that's interesting. That'd beat The Rock's theme.
Yeah, and Break the Walls Down, Jericho's classic theme, of course, which it could go very far, possibly even close to the finals. Who knows? That beat Nexus, the Nexus theme.
Of course.
It's to be expected. At one point, actually, the Instagram poll was really close too. So I thought maybe the Nexus was going to win, but it didn't. AJ Styles' TNA theme, I Am, that absolutely slaughtered Tyler Breeze's theme.
Yeah, I assumed it would. I couldn't pick. That's something I couldn't pick.
Well, but you were the one who suggested Tyler Breeze's theme in the first place. I don't think that was ever going to really advance very far.
It still had to be there.
Yeah, I guess so. Tetsuya Naito, his theme defeated Mustache Mountain or Trent Seven's theme. Right?
Of course.
I mean, that one was actually close at one point, too. I think that was around 50-50 at one point during the poll, but it did advance. Slow Chemical, Kane's theme, advanced over Pro Division, Joey Janela's theme. Pro Division received 1 vote in total.
What? Did people not know who Joey Janela is?
Apparently.
How do you vote?
Okay, I'm sorry. You
Whatever.
can see my notebook. Let me cover my camera. No,
It doesn't make any sense. Now I don't believe anything about. I don't believe a single vote. This is all
Because
fake news. This whole tournament is just corrupted now. One vote for Joey Janela's theme. That was the hardest one for me out of all of them.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, but specifically the Joey Janela theme over the Kane theme was never going to win. The Kane theme is considered one of the better themes.
Of course, but like
the last couple decades.
well, it's hard.
It is.
But one vote?
One vote, and it was from somebody named Piledriver Wrestle, somebody on Instagram. But yeah,
should interview him.
Yeah, and then of course this is to be expected as well. Only receiving 2 votes was Yoshitatsu's theme. That lost to Judas, Jericho's current theme.
Of course,
got destroyed in that one as well. So, and then there was one more actually. So this is the one that I was disappointed on. I wanted to end with this one because I was disappointed by the results of this. After everything we went through last week with the Tomato song, after everything that happened with Matt Hardy and his old theme, it somehow didn't defeat Shinsuke Nakamura's theme. Really? Nakamura advanced, which, the theme you were just mentioning a minute ago, advanced, despite the rap version that's on right now. Matt Hardy, that theme just got fucking buried, even though we spent so long on that last week.
How many votes?
Well, see, I don't want to expose how many listeners we have here, but
no.
End result was 15 votes for Nakamura, 9 votes for Matt Hardy.
Oh, it's not that bad.
No, it's not like 5-4 or something.
It's not brutal. It's not one vote for Joey Janela.
I mean,
I probably would have picked Soul Chemical, sitting there really thinking about it, but still, one vote.
Well, Chemical only received 14, actually. Some people like you probably just couldn't decide. But yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think about this whole thing? Because I feel like the Tomato song should have advanced.
It's not like it's gonna win. It's not like that one's gonna win. Slow Chemical could win, but I don't know.
Oh yeah! Whoa! I can slap a tornado. I can drive a Paisy, yeah. When I live for the moment, there ain't no with me. You'll never find your pleasure if you worry about your pain, and your precious little details are stretching out my brain while you spin around and bite your nails. Now let me tell you, son, that you can't trust anybody if you can't trust number one. Whoa, that man tells me my future, and it's not so far away. I get ready for tomorrow. I got always my old today.
You're telling me this theme didn't win?
No, you're right. I have no words. I'm speechless. I don't know what was going through my head. That theme is number 1. I think that should win the whole tournament.
Oh yeah! Whoa!
That's what I said when I looked at these lyrics and when I looked at these results and I saw that wait a minute. No, I'm pissed. Hold on. I'm changing the narrative here.
I saw that.
Wait, I'm not happy with any of these results.
Oh.
That's what I said in my head when Matt Hardy was winning the poll, and then it turned around. What happened?
Well, you know what? I appreciate that you didn't lie, because you could have easily just lied and said that Matt Hardy theme won, but you didn't. So shout out to you.
Oh yeah! Whoa! I can slap a tornado.
He's not reading the lyrics right, though. Clearly, Tomato is one of the lyrics, right? We established this.
Yeah, I don't know what he's singing, but it's whatever. That sounds like me playing SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 back in the day.
Yeah, I was wondering when you got a YouTube channel and decided to start recording videos like this, but
yeah.
It does have 1,700 views with 46 likes, including myself, and 41 dislikes. So not a very good ratio here for me singing WWE Superstar Matt Hardy theme I Can Slap a Tornado, which was published on March 17th, 2013 by, what does it say, Prince Havoc?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really talk about it, though. I don't know. I don't want to brag.
Better.
I
literally just Googled Matt Hardy I Can Slap a Tornado.
And that came up?
You, when you're John Cena in your green John Cena shirt, singing...
Oh, yeah! yeah, woo.
So I don't know. Want to explain yourself?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was a good time. I mean, after that video, my life changed.
Right.
I had all the money, all the cars, all the women, right? I was just staying in penthouses all the time. I mean, it came to a point where I lost myself. So I gave it all up. And, just tried to flush that part of my life down the toilet. And I said, it was good, but money doesn't equal happiness. So I've been on a path to find my happiness. Like Shawn Michaels, he lost his smile. I lost my happiness after that video.
Understandable. Being a rock star is actually a really hard life. It's being on the road all the time, having to, my voice is just cracking just thinking about it. It's a really sad story. But when you get on stage and you could just rock out, it makes it all worth it,
I can slap a tornado. I can drive a Paisy, yeah. When I wait for the moment, there ain't no with me. You'll never find your pleasure.
So next week we have 8 more matches.
They're anal with me.
Yeah, they're anal with him. John Squad, by the way, if you are hearing this, because I assume at some point he will, he posts a video like every day. If you want to cover "Say It to My Face" for us, we're going to use it as our new intro. So for next week, we have 8 more matches. I'm just going to run through these quickly. If you want to vote in the chat right now live, you can, but there will be polls up on Instagram. First match, Smoke and Mirrors, Cody Rhodes' theme from WWE, versus Rollin', the American Badass theme, right? Smoke and Mirrors, Rollin'.
I'd have to go with Rollin'. As much as I love Smoke and Mirrors, I gotta go with Rollin'. I mean, come on, Limp Bizkit.
Understandable, yeah.
I gotta go Rollin'.
Down for Rollin', and if you want to drop some more votes in the chat, go ahead. Throughout everything I'm saying, just go ahead and do that if you'd like to. All right, next one. Kazuchika Okada, right? His theme, you know that one? Love that song.
Right.
Versus the Social Outcast theme. You remember that one?
Oh, Okada.
You're going Okada?
Yeah.
I don't know. When I play this, you might have sing a different tune. You know what I'm saying? You might sing something a little closer to like.
Oh yeah! Whoa!
Because honestly, when I play this, when I'm able to open up YouTube, you know how this goes here live on Twitch. .tv/FightGeist Wrestling, and I'm Jack Peterson, and you're Phil Broccoli, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention that.
Exactly. We got to mention it every couple of seconds, really. But
we have to mention what?
Oh, that we're FightGeist and that we are live on Twitch on FightGeist FightGeist Wrestling, and we're on Instagram FightGeist Wrestling. I'm forgetting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But like this song.
Feeling like I'm under the gun. Born on a Sunday in the house of the rising sun. The clouds were black, but I refused to run. I could see through the smoke, I could feel it. Live and let live. Take it all.
Remember this shit? 26.
I completely forgot about that. Oh.
Dude, that song goes so much harder than I even remembered.
Yeah, same. As you're playing it right now, I'm like, whoa. I remember this, and it's just amazing. Wow, it's like I just heard it for the first time. Wow.
Yeah, Outcast by the Social Outcasts. If only it were by Outcast himself, then I think that would automatically win the tournament. But yes, Debbie Chat is asking whether I'm on crack. What is this question?
Oh, all right.
About
straight butt rock. Yeah, that is butt rock, and we love butt rock. Jack, you love butt rock, right? No, Jack doesn't really like butt rock. He's more of a, I don't know what he is, but he's not a butt rock guy.
I know those words. Never heard them together before. So next
butt rock is like rock that you hear on the radio. Like if you're going like Sirius XM Octane, they're like, "Oh, we play nothing but rock." So that's why it's called butt rock, because butt rock. Get it? And that's bands like Skillet and stuff. Smoke and Mirrors, Sentimental Value because of SmackDown vs. Raw 2010.
Yeah, we got some votes in the chat. So we have that.
Honestly, same.
And the next song is, or the next matchup here, Sheamus' old song. Remember that one? The Shameful Thing.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, and I love that song. And versus, all right, now this is going to be some controversy. Walk by Pantera, Rob Van Dam's ECW theme.
Are you like serious? Well, obviously he's serious. Of course I'm gonna pick Walk. Yeah, Fozzy is butt rock. Of course I'm gonna pick rock. I mean rock. I mean walk. Of course I'm gonna pick.
Are
walk.
you on crack? What's happening here?
I am. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm gonna pick walk. Obviously, Sebi walk. Dude, no one's not gonna pick walk. You should just advance it already. But whatever. Literally every single fan that we have likes Pantera.
No, because
for some reason that's like the universal band for the fan base. It's Pantera.
I'm the host of this show, and I hate them. So
yeah, but you're like not real, you know.
That's a really good point. So we have Sheamus' original theme, which I'm giving the vote to, against Walk, which Urka's saying cannot be included. We have kind of changed the rules as we've gone.
I know, Urka. I know it's a blurry line. It's a blurry line between the real songs and wrestling themes and whatnot. It's hard. Just
in general, yeah. And the next one. Now, this is one that you might be kind of interested in. We had Jack Swagger's theme. We had to qualify, right? We did this before an episode at one point with the live chat, twitch.tv/FightGeist Wrestling to join that. And we asked them whether Jack Swagger's theme from 2013 to 16 should advance, or whether, what was the one that we had that against? Oh, Gargano's Evolve theme, right? So Jack Swagger advanced in that little mini vote there.
Yeah.
But it ends up in this tournament against one of the favorites. In fact, I know it's one of your favorites, which is My Time, Triple H's old theme.
That's my song to pick to win the whole thing. Prediction time. It's either going to be My Time or D-Generation X, or maybe Chris Jericho's theme.
Yeah, absolutely. My Time, Jack Swagger.
My Time all the way. Sebi said this is rough. Is that real? Are you talking about the My Time versus Jack Swagger's theme? Or are you being serious right now? My Time, 100%, 1,000%. Like the tattoo on Pat's neck, 1,000%.
The next match might be tough for some people, but for me it's a very easy one. We have Aleister Black's theme, which he just changed, by the way. We might have to talk about that at some point.
I don't know how to feel. I like the new theme. It's way more death metal, but at the same time, it's not the other theme. I didn't ask you, Jack, but yeah, it's not like the other thing.
we have that one against Basic Thugonomics. So, yeah.
Oh.
Aleister Black, Basic Thugonomics. Now the last one.
Oh, that's hard.
We got 4 more. I'm gonna run through these fast. Okay.
We gotta let that sit though. Basic Thugonomics or Aleister Black?
Well, you get to vote for that one later on Instagram.
What? Oh, that's hard. Yeah, Urka, these are getting harder.
And this is still round 1. Burn in My Light, Randy Orton's old theme.
Oh yeah,
Sami Zayn.
Oh, Burn in My Light, obviously. Okay, forget Jericho's theme. It's either gonna be My Time, D-Generation X, or Burn in My Light. Burn in My Light has been one of my favorite themes forever. Nostalgia, and it's a very good song. So, Burn in My Light, all the way. Fair
enough. Sami Zayn, especially after his win this weekend, is a song that I love in the same way that I like Becky Lynch's theme, too. So that's a tough one. We have... this one, This Fire Burns, CM Punk's original WWE theme, versus Legacy. You thought that the Legacy's theme was really great?
Wow, that's great. Yeah, I love the Legacy's theme.
That song.
It's a New Day. That should have been New Day's theme.
It's a garbage song. I'm sorry.
It really isn't. But
that's butt rock right there.
I mean, I'd have to go with CM Punk.
Yeah.
You can't not go with CM Punk.
Well, I hope Legacy gets demolished. We have 2 more. So, okay. We have Jeff Hardy's TNA theme, Another Me, which you also insist is great.
So good.
Versus Sexy Boy.
Oh, man. It says if you did it on purpose. It says if you put Another Me with Shawn Michaels' theme on purpose. Of course Shawn Michaels' theme.
Sexy Boy or something?
Of course Shawn Michaels' theme is going to beat that. But, Another Me is very good. I don't want Another Me to get lost in the shuffle. Yeah, Sebi says Another Me.
We just a couple weeks ago talked shit about...
Juice Bash, I just want to say, Another Me was my suggestion because Jack doesn't know anything about TNA. Which is why I'm still shocked about him suggesting Jeff Jarrett's theme. But, whatever.
Just a couple weeks ago, we talked shit about Jeff Hardy's band, Peroxygen, and now you're nominated.
I didn't. You did. You did. I said it was good.
We both did.
No, actually, you were the one that talked the track.
There's first of all no tune. There's second of all.
Yeah, because you know so much about music, right?
I know.
You're the one that said Pantera is screamo. You
Right.
have no say at all in anything related to music.
Well, we have a vote in the chat from Sebi,
Oh my god.
another me, which I'm very surprised about. But I'm definitely going sexy.
Sebi.
But
Sebi, I agree. We might have to pick another me just to get Jack mad. Just to teach him a lesson.
Came out too when he was drugged up at Victory Road.
Just to teach him a lesson.
The last one we're going to talk about today, or that we're going to start the polls for today, is this is an interesting one. This one's going to win, but it's still an interesting one. Metalingus, Edge's theme, one of the favorites to win the whole thing, probably.
Oh yeah.
Against a personal favorite, Long Necks and Rednecks.
Wait, which one is that one again?
Long Necks and Rednecks. You don't remember this?
I'm trying to think of it. Which one was it?
So now this is the song that, first of all, I'm just going to vote for it because I want to balance this out a little bit because I know that Metalingus is going to win, but I'm putting down my vote for Long Necks and Rednecks because this is the song that Kevin used to sing on the show when he had a bad joke on TWFS. But here, it's just also a song we've played, I think, on past episodes. But just remember this, just throw it back to 2012 TNA and just sit back in this beautiful, completely horrible. It's basically like the Room of songs. Okay. Oh, there's like a music video. All right.
Beer skinning, beer drinking, Johnny Cash listening. Long necks and rednecks are my friends. When money whiskey make a perfect blend.
But anyway, that's
Define a long neck.
Define a long neck. So define a redneck. Those are our matches for the next week of the tournament.
I mean, Edge wins that one. Just putting that out there.
Debatable.
And Chickstar says, "You got that right, Phil. You tell him, Phil." Yeah, thank you. I'm glad I have people backing me up.
We have 9 more matches you're going to be able to vote on Instagram at FightGeist Wrestling on Instagram, of course. Follow there. Go to the stories. They'll be up at some point during the week. Of course, the stories only last like 24 hours, so basically I'll put them on whenever I want to. Or you can put your phone in the chat if you don't think you'll be able to get to it.
Yeah.
Regardless, we have a lot today to get to.
Right. Okay.
We didn't mention this last week or the week before. I think we could have. No, I think last week. I think it happened. What was this? It's like 2 weeks ago on Dynamite was when a certain Rusev came out. You remember this guy, Miro?
Miro. Yeah.
Him?
I know that guy. You mean Sandman?
Sandman?
Yeah. He's Sandman in 1994. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that you don't know Sandman 94 and that you didn't see Boulevard Bully's meme about it.
I'm sorry. All I know is that I really hated this segment. What do you think of Miro?
You mean his debut, the best man, like his official debut when he came out and talked?
Actually, just kind of all of him, but especially that segment, yes.
I loved it.
No, you
thought
did.
It was great. Yeah. He came out and completely bashed WWE. It's a war. It's a war
Did he
zone.
bash WWE?
Yes, he did.
Or did he
took
pretend to
shots. All right, I forgot you don't like anything cool. My bad. Yeah, it was very cool. He completely took shots at WWE. This is the way it should be. It's a war. It's a war. It's WWE and WCW. It's not WWE and TNA. As much as I love TNA, I mean, there was a brief moment where they were kind of in competition, but we all know TNA never made it to the top of the mountain right next to WWE. AEW is on the top of that mountain. And Miro came out and said something about a ceiling made of glass, something about a ring made of brass, and took his shots. And I loved every second of it. I think more people should do it. It's like when What's-Her-Name came and threw the title in the trash. It's just like that.
It's like that in a way that he saw that and was like, what if I did that, but I don't really have anything real to say?
Right,
so
right.
Okay, you want to hear this promo?
I do. No, don't play it. I don't want to hear a whole promo right now. But I just want you to know that you're wrong.
It's about you don't want to hear the promo because you realize how stupid you'll sound.
No, not at all. I just don't want to hear the whole thing right now. I want to talk, Jack. I want to talk about how you're just completely wrong and you're wrong about 90% of things in life.
10 years in the same house, under the same glass ceiling.
Let's break it down.
Well, okay. Well,
Same house, WWE.
Right. Well, I'd like to establish that first. You notice how he said 10 years?
Yeah.
He was not in WWE for 10 years.
You don't know that. Maybe he got signed to a developmental contract and was training at the Performance Center. Maybe he was in OVW or FCW at the time before he debuted.
No, not accurate. He debuted shortly after he was signed because he was like some strongman or some shit, right? Oh wait, hold on, you're right. It says Barnyashev. Is that really his name, Barnyashev?
Yeah.
Barnyard signed a contract with WWE in 2010, was assigned to Florida Champion. So it took him 3 years to make his debut, which is pretty shitty. But
wrong about 90% of things.
What?
You just proved my point. I said you were wrong about 90% of things, and you were just wrong about something.
It was one thing.
It's just proving my point. It's beautiful. It's a good day for me. What's the date? September 29th? 29 is my lucky number. I'm playing.
So he says he was under the same roof for 10 years, and now he wants to break the ceiling, right, which is apparently made of glass this whole time.
Glass, yeah.
You notice how every time anybody who was in WWE criticizes WWE and criticizes the way they were booked and whatever, they only ever have the same metaphors. It's only ever a brass ring that doesn't exist, right? I can predict what he's going to say. I remember the promo, but I can predict what he's going to say just by going back to like Zack Ryder promo or some fucking whatever. There's a brass ring that's imaginary, right? It doesn't exist. That's what they say. There's a glass ceiling that they tell you to break, but you can't break it. There's politics backstage the people who want you to fail, right? It's always
all true, though.
I am sure it is all true, but why not come up with something original? Because I'm sure Rusev went through some stuff with his booking, with whatever. There were periods where he was not booked well at all. He was in terrible storylines, right?
Why not keep it real and talk about what really happened? Why make up some promo about the best man? I would have been bored. I would have been so bored if he came out and talking about, oh yeah, I'm the best man. Like, no. He cut a real promo about how he is no longer with the horrible company, the bad company, and he's here. He's in AEW. He's all elite. And it's a war. It's a war out here.
So why not say that? He didn't say anything of... Let me just keep this playing.
He didn't say... What?
He said nothing of substance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
With the imaginary brass ring.
See?
Well, you can take that brass ring and shove it up your ass.
How many times...
Okay, Jack, I just want to point out that everyone in the crowd is cheering extremely loud. You're the only one. You're the only one that's sitting here crying like a little Twitter baby girl, all right? I just want to point that out. So you're wrong. You're wrong. You're just wrong. Just accept it.
That's my problem with it, is that people act like just because he comes out of WWE and decides to cut a promo where he insinuates he's talking about WWE on a rival promotion, that must mean he's saying something really cool and revolutionary. That's
exactly what it means.
Up their ass because he's got this big expose. Oh, he's gonna come out and say, "Oh, WWE held me down, and now I'm my own man." But he's not saying anything. He's saying what everybody says.
Okay, and he's saying it on live TV. He's saying it on the rival promotion when it's a legitimate war. That's a big deal.
Did Cody Rhodes not cut exactly the same promo at the start of AEW?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Okay,
did John not cut the same promo when he won the title?
What's so bad about it? Okay, yeah, he did, and it's a cool thing. It's a good thing because now wrestlers can do what they want. They can do what they want. They have creative control. There's no crazy backstage politics and all this stupidness that happens when you go to WWE. I mean, some people go to WWE have a great run, and others just get lost in the shuffle because of just how everything works back there, and it kind of sucks. And now it's AEW, and now you have creative control. You can do what you want. You get paid a lot of money. Everyone there is getting paid more than they were getting paid in WWE. I mean, it's a beautiful thing for wrestling. And for professional wrestlers, and I don't understand how you as a professional wrestler how you don't see this as a wrestler yourself. I don't know.
I agree.
I'm wrong. I'm the wrong one. I'm crazy. I'm insane when millions of people are cheering. Millions of people online are cheering. People in the crowds are going insane. Oh, I'm the wrong one. We're all wrong, Jack. We don't know what we're talking about.
If you'll allow me to continue explaining what I'm trying to say here, look, Phil, you're right that it's cool that people can go on a rival promotion and talk shit about their former employer and maybe potentially expose some of the bad things about the wrestling business and the backstage politics, even other wrestlers who held them down, right? There's so much you can say, and there's so much that you can fill a shoot interview with, if there were a shoot interview that he was doing, right? If he came onto an actual, like he came onto kayfabe commentaries, whatever bullshit, and he decided to say things, expose his company, right? There's so much that this guy specifically could say because he was not treated very well with by WWE and by management and stuff like that, right? We know this. Rusev of all people, that's somebody who that applies to. So him to come out and repeat the same points over again, and we'll get to the rest of the promo because believe me, it gets worse.
Stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking. What did you do? Did you do something to your microphone?
No, but I added Sebby to the call.
That's what this noise is. Something it just messed up everything. I didn't know what it was, and it was horrible right now. Okay, that's what it was. What is that beep? Sebby, is that you? Are you making something in the microphone?
No, I turned off my fan.
Oh,
right.
Phil. You know me. We've been buddies for quite a while now.
Right.
You know.
You really tried hard not to say we've been boys for a long time.
I'm trying my best not to.
For a long time.
Boys. No, look, Phil.
Always.
Let me just say, okay, so the promo was not bad, okay, but it was just unoriginal. The promo was Nickelback, okay. It's not as bad as Jack is making out to be, but it's just completely unoriginal, okay. Here's the thing: the promo, the actual purpose of it was done correctly. It's made to use the cheap point that everybody knows and make it to make the crowd pop. It did what it achieved. But it's easy to say, and it's correct in saying it, that it was unoriginal, everybody else has said it before, and it's just not really necessary at this point to do so. Especially when, it's, everybody has said, look at Damian Sandow when he went to TNA. He said basically the same thing. And where did that take him in TNA? Basically nowhere. When he went to an NWA and he started doing his own stuff, and he didn't bring it up once, he was able to be his own character. Okay? I just feel like
AEW, Cody Rhodes said it when AEW started, and look at where AEW is now. John Moxley said it, and look at where he is now.
That's exactly.
Yeah, but I feel like they would be better off if they didn't do that. Because it's not that I'm the I just feel like, okay, I'm not going to be as staunch as everybody else is about people trading blows or whatever. I think both sides should trade blows, but there's a certain point where since NXT's not doing it as much and AEW is doing it as quite a bit more, I just feel like it makes them look worse in the long run. Even if it isn't, in your opinion, Phil, but I just feel like it hurts them in the long run if they're constantly, going after their competition. It's okay, you're kind of someone even talked to me about it before. They're living rent-free in their heads, okay? There's going to be a certain point where it's just okay, why are you saying this? Just be your own people, okay? And it doesn't bug me as much, but it's just okay, Miro went out there, and he's he's the best man guy, and then he made a promo about just something else, that was just a bit out of the blue. It was a bit non sequitur to what was actually going on. He should have just stayed more focused within the events that was going on, and I just feel like that would have been a better segment overall if he didn't just do you take this brass ring, that sort of thing. It would have just been better if he just was I'm the best man, I'm here in AEW, and I'm here to wreck shit. That would just make things a lot more simpler and a lot more better.
No, you listen to too much Kevin Scampoli. No,
I
wrong.
haven't listened to Kevin in months.
That would have been so boring.
I haven't listened to
I just want to say this. The goal, when you're a wrestler, right? The goal is to make the crowd react. You want to make the crowd pop. And I don't know if you're deaf. I don't know.
No, it did make the crowd pop, but I'm just saying
it. To a grenade and it blew up.
It did so in a cheap way.
I'm not sure, but what I heard was a very, very, very loud pop. And as a wrestler, that's exactly what I would want. So I don't see anything wrong with this at all. If he did this and people booed or people said nothing, then it would look bad. But no,
to a degree,
it was
fair
a big,
point.
Fat pop. He did the correct thing, and it's not even about what people see on TV. It's about the crowd. You hear the crowd pop, and then that's what makes the people at home be like, whoa. It's not about what you Twitter pieces of trash think, Sebi.
I'm not trying to like be on that side of things. I'm a centrist, I'm a nihilist more than anything, okay? I just feel like there's a certain degree where it's just like, okay, you've heard this promo a dozen times before. It's starting to get a bit old here. You should just try to stop it now.
It works every time. You see an RKO. You've seen an RKO for 20 years, and it pops. There's a pop every time. It works every time.
Yeah, but an RKO isn't cheap. Like trying to say, "Oh, this company is bad. This company is bad." Why don't you just shut up and let your own work speak for itself?
Because it's way cooler. Because it's way cooler to actually have drama. It's way cooler to have drama. Wrestling is also about entertainment. And when two companies are going head to head, that is what makes good entertainment. That's how the Attitude Era was created.
Okay. You're saying that this is for entertainment, right? So let's just say that two wrestlers, okay, that have like a 5-star match, okay? They have this like grand, wonderful match. And they do the same match, literally the same match, move for move, over and over again. And for some reason the crowd keeps on popping. Like, there's a degree where it's like, okay, they're putting on consistent matches, but there's also a theoretical point where it's just like, okay, when's the drop-off going to happen, and what point are they going to start doing original stuff again?
That's exactly what wrestlers do. That's what Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, when you
they didn't put on the same match.
They do the same things. They do the same things in different places. When they were touring in Japan, touring in Mexico, touring in Germany, when you have chemistry with someone really good,
in front of different people.
Okay, yeah.
In front of different people.
Yeah.
Who haven't seen it before. I'm saying in this theoretical
before, but it's still cool.
Theoretical point.
You go to a concert. You go to let's say a show. Let's say a band is playing in New York City 3 nights in a row. They're going to be playing the same 3 songs, but you still enjoy it.
Are they?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but to pull Jack over here, I listen to bands that like to be original on stage, try to improvise a little bit. I'm sorry, but I'm not a kind of guy where it's like, okay, I've been to Kiss shows before, where it's highly choreographed, especially like current Scab Kiss.
How many albums do they have? They have a bunch of albums.
Yeah, but it's the same set list over and over again, at least for the past 20 years it has been. And that's what I don't like about, current Kiss. Meanwhile, you look at... I hate to go like in the weird nerdy section of my music catalog, but when you look at stuff like Frank Zappa, he tries his best to like make it as different as possible with improvisations and certain things, and maybe like a little bit of comedy on it, because that's what he was kind of known for. But when you try to like make it as different as possible for the audience in front of you, that makes it a better thing. When you try to like do the same thing over and over again, how is AEW better than WWE in this scenario where they're trying to do the same thing over and over again? Yes, it is, because you hear all the time, like, from these people try to get, like, all the marks going. Like, you hear, like, the brass ring talk. Like, I don't need to hear CM Punk's Cole Cabana podcast 10 times over again. I want to see Miro go out there and beat people up.
Sorry, I just needed some way to interject because I know I was not.
Sebi wants to watch people get beat up. Then go watch NWA or something. I want to be entertained. I want to watch wrestling. I want to be entertained. I want to be shocked, okay?
I want to watch the alternative. I want to watch
the idea that this was a good promo, but he shouldn't be repeating the same things that Sebi said too. This was not a good promo. By no means was this a good promo outside of the WWE talk. Because let me play a little bit more of this to you because it does not make sense to me. Are you chanting Cena, by the way?
Miro.
That's right.
See, he's deaf. He just doesn't know how to hear.
Recognizes elite.
What'd you say?
You don't even know what the chant is, and you're trying to criticize a promo. What's wrong with you?
Elite recognizes the best. And Kip, I love you, man. And of course I'm going to be your best man. But you pick me not because I'm a best man, but because I am the best man. You tune into my Twitch channel, you know I am the best gamer. You tune to...
That's the best!
See me devour people after person.
People after person, first of all. But also, why...
I'll give him a pass for that since he's foreign.
Okay, fine. But what does it mean? What does any of it mean? Okay, fine. I can excuse the accent tics and I can excuse him not speaking perfect English. But look, when he comes out and he's supposed to be the Bulgarian brute, the beast, whatever that he is in WWE, and then his first couple of lines when he comes out, he goes, "Tune into my Twitch, and you see I'm the best gamer." So, am I supposed to take him seriously because he plays games on Twitch? We're on Twitch right now, twitch.tv/FightGeist Wrestling. Am I supposed to come out on AEW next week and say, "Hey Kip Sabian, hey, I'm not just a best man, whatever that means. I am actually the best man."
All right, that's where you're starting to lose me.
He was talking about how he's the best man. He's the best at multiple things.
Okay, so within
perfect example. Also, WWE tried to ban other wrestlers from using Twitch, so it's also a little jab, just like when Kip Sabian had his sign up talking about subscribe to my Twitch, and then on the bottom it said approved by AEW.
Right,
that's
I like that.
Jab. That's okay. Yeah, you
I like that
okay,
a little bit. Like that's a dig, but it's a creative dig. Okay, so here's where I could see a little bit of Jack and a little bit of Phil's point of view. So, within the confines of, okay, this dude's the best man, and this is why they're connected, I could see this, because Kip Sabian and Miro both stream on Twitch, and they're both the best gamers. And I think that was a great line that he put in there, because it's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
And a little bit of where I could see Jack's point of view is like, okay, so this is AEW, where they promise, okay, this is where the best wrestlers go to be the best wrestlers. I just feel like if you wanted to do something better with Miro, just have him show up, like, as I said, beat people up. And you can, I'm not saying it has to be, like, straightforward NWA style with, like, just a ring and then, like, just the NWA setup and it's just only wrestling. I'm saying that, like, you could make him the next, like you can make him a gigantic star, just like a Brian Cage sort of guy. If you don't like Brian Cage or something like that, you can make him, you can make him this brutal force that's a legitimate scare. If you're in the mind of like any other wrestler, you would want to feel like you were in danger. Like, oh my God, Miro's here. I am in danger. I am in immediate danger. Like, that's what you would want out of like a large, muscly guy like that. So I could see where Jack's point of view comes into that. But with what they're doing, I feel like they could still like do good with this, because it's not like I'm going to say this again. The promo was not bad. I just don't think that part of it was all that creative.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is, not only does he come out and he talks about how he's the best gamer, but also what does he mean overall? Like, Phil, you seemed very eager to defend this point, but what does he mean by he is the best man? Because obviously he's the best man at Kip and Penelope's wedding, right? That's the whole gimmick. That's why he's out there. I mean, first of all, we never established on any wrestling program that they know each other, so I'm confused why he's the best man anyway. But regardless, he comes out. It's in his fucking theme song, which is the worst part of it. His theme song goes, "I'm the best man," or whatever. It's like, why is your gimmick that you are the best man at a wedding? Not a gimmick. Or is your gimmick that you are a gamer? Which, not a gimmick for a guy like him. Or is your gimmick that you are just the best, greatest man? I'm just so confused.
It's another way of saying greatest in the world. Just he said the best man. I'm sorry that he's being creative and being different. I thought you liked that. I thought you liked that, Jack. I'm sorry. Every other wrestler says, "Oh, they're the greatest in the world," so he said, "Okay, I'll be the best man." It means he's the best at everything that he does. I don't know how you don't see it. Don't you go to NYU? I don't understand what's happening right now.
He's the best in the world at what he does.
Look, I know people have said that type of thing, like I'm the best here, I'm the best in the world, so many different ways and so many different times. So, but you don't have to dumb it down to the smallest possible. Hey, I'm the best man here.
I don't know about that. It's a double meaning on top of like the literal sense and the figurative sense. I think it's in a way it's clever.
You're trying too hard, Jack.
I don't like the theme. I don't like the theme, but I just feel like there is a point where it's just it's a clever double meaning that I like it with what they're doing.
It's if there were a comma in the sentence, if he says, "Hey, I'm not just the best man at your wedding, I'm the best man," then I might be like, okay, kind of weird thing to say, but also fine, say it. But he's like, I am the best man. Of all the men, I'm the best one. Why?
No, there was no period until the end. Jack, you're in NYU. You should know this.
Yes, thank you, sir.
The emphasis is what I'm talking about. All caps, you know.
I know, but no, like I think that would be kind of worse if he was just like, "I'm the best, man." Like that would be kind of like too punny, you know.
I like it.
All right.
Then
let me like the double meaning of.
You definitely would not have liked it.
Hey, Seb, you can like.
Came on here and said the same thing.
What?
You, Jack, you would not have liked it. You're lying. I know you wouldn't have liked it.
No, I would have liked it. I would have if he had actual bullets.
Phil, listen.
So much trash. What?
Phil, you're the guy who's not even like giving like a bit of like thought towards like kind of hating it. So like, why are you trying to call out Jack, who easily could be like on this opposite side of you, not even thinking about the good part of it? Why are you so like apt to be like, oh, this is the peak of wrestling right here? Like, come on, man. Like, just at least think for like a moment, legitimately, is this good or is this bad? Without thinking like, oh yeah, it's automatically good.
Exactly.
It is good. I heard it with my 100% hearing ears, and I said to myself, wow, he took a jab at WWE. Wow, this is cool. This is a war. This means
but we've known this.
Be good wrestling.
Since November of last, or whatever, like a whole year ago. Okay. Basically a whole year ago that this has been a war, and and that other company bad and this company good. We've heard this 1,000 times before. And it's just like, okay, it's been over a year now. We can stop this now. Like, I just feel like there's a certain degree where it's like, okay, yeah, it pops the crowd, but there's a certain degree where it feels like they're trying to refresh, like the this is a new company sort of like freshness. It's sort of like trying to keep on putting like lime juice on a fruit salad that rotted a while ago, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Sebi, thank you for your call. Another thing that is that pissed me off about
what?
About the
it was a well done promo. Thank you, Juice.
Thank you for that. We're just cutting me off completely.
I just wanted to show you that someone else said it was a good promo.
What?
Besides the people that popped in the crowd and the other people that really enjoyed it, but whatever. Okay.
Yeah, right. Okay. So, another thing that annoyed me too. Did you notice? We've talked about this plenty of times. The fact that Matt Hardy was concussed recently,
right,
and still has not seemed to recover somehow. I figured maybe a few weeks later there would be some sort of change. Maybe he'd be healed up or something. I don't know. I just have this short clip here that tells me otherwise.
Okay.
The more things change, the less they say. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
What happened to this guy?
Oh, I love Matt Hardy. He's broken. He's actually broken now.
Just permanently.
Be careful what you wish for.
Wait, who wished for that?
Well, he did. He wanted to be a broken character. He wanted to be all crazy.
Right.
He got it. He got it. Glorb.
Exactly. He wanted to change his gimmick, but he quickly found out, much to his chagrin, that
the more things change, the less they say. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yes, so good, so good.
So Matt Hardy, I almost feel bad.
The Glorb.
Yeah, he I don't know. He's fallen, hasn't he? I mean, he fell off that scaffolding.
He did fall.
He literally fell. But I don't actually have anything to say besides just making fun of a man who was concussed recently. Right. So it might as well just play it one more time.
The more things change, the less they say. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Jesus
Christ. Yeah! Whoa! I can slap a tornado.
So I just want to point out Juice Bash in the chat. Remember last week when Jack said that Matt Hardy is much better at promos than Jeff? Yeah. Yeah, he's much better at promos than Jeff.
All right. Did I say that actually? Because I take it back. I take it back. I was watching Raw.
Okay.
Well, actually, you know what? First of all, last night I was in the Thunderdome live.
You were.
And yeah, let me just detail that experience because it was really weird. I got in there at 9:30. For some reason, they had me come in halfway through the show instead of being there for the whole show. But they had me in at 9:30. Came on the screen. I had to make sure none of my posters or stuff were behind me because they would take me off. I had to have a WWE shirt on. I almost wore a CM Punk shirt, and I realized that would get me banned. That would be a very bad idea. So I wore an NXT one instead, and I had the camera on me, and this producer man comes in our ears in the commercials. Not only the commercials, but when people come out, to their entrances and then when they win a match and stuff like that, he'll tell you to cheer, and it's the most jarring thing. So I'm thinking if he knows when we're cheering and when we're not, that he could probably hear me. And I wish I cut audio from this. Next time I'm on the Thunderdome, I will absolutely record audio from this because I definitely gave him a mouthful. Some people were watching along with me on the Discord, on the Boulevard Bullies Discord, and this guy was quite a piece of work. At one point, Drew McIntyre comes out. He goes, "Hey, fans in the Thunderdome, what do you think about your WWE champion, Drew McIntyre?" So clearly he doesn't know anything about the product that he's promoting, but until I guess I was a little bit too subdued or whatever, and I think maybe I reached down and I picked something up from the floor or something, and he goes directly to me. He says, "Hey, can you stay on your camera, please?" Then I was like, I just grabbed my mic and I was like, "Hey, listen here. Hey, you hear me now?" And I talked some shit. So next time I'll make sure to catch some audio of that. He also, when Bobby Roode came out, he said, "Hey, what do you guys think about this glorious moment?" Which was really cringeworthy.
Oh man, I belong in the Thunderdome. I should be in the Thunderdome. I'm the model child for the Thunderdome.
You know, I kind of thought I was.
Cheer so loud. Oh my god, I'll be front page on WWE.com. I'll be voted the greatest Thunderdome fan ever. I'll get a Slammy.
A Slammy for greatest Thunderdome fan, yeah. I kind of thought I was going down that route too because I was doing yes chants. Oof. I was doing the big eyes like when Undertaker lost the streak. I was doing I had my hands on my head. I had my hands up in the air. I was doing the Fandango, right? I was da-da.
Man, you were going all out.
Yeah, exactly. And I was chanting "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." I had a million different chants that I was trying to start, and I was clapping, and I was cheering, and I was booing, and whatever. And I didn't make it on camera once.
Man.
So I think that's a lot of bullshit.
You gotta learn to behave. It was all the trash you were talking.
Maybe you're right, actually.
You gotta play the part, Jack.
If anybody...
Wear John Cena shirt next time, you'll be there.
Actually, that's a good point, yeah. If anybody who's listening right now can go back to that Raw, that would have been the September 28th Raw. Go back to that Raw, and if you can find me, I'm wearing a black shirt. This is an open call to everybody who is listening to me right now. If you can find an image of me, or at some point a screenshot of me on camera on the Thunderdome, you replace Phil permanently as co-host.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that we're doing.
Yep,
yeah.
It's the real thing.
Yep.
If you Phil yourself can find it, then you get to keep your job. But otherwise, you're basically in limbo. You're like an interim sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like probation.
Yeah. Just getting on thin ice here.
What's up?
I'm skating on thin ice here.
You really are. You have been since episode 1.
Dancing on glass.
Last Raw, those who throw glass houses shouldn't live in stones or some shit.
Right.
Whatever they say. So the Raw before the one that I was on, last week's Raw, I watched this Raw, and this is the one where Retribution first announced their names, and they revealed their masks and everything like that, and just a lot of stuff happened. The one about the go-home show for Clash of Champions. I know it's not exactly relevant right now to talk about that specific Raw, but I think it speaks to a larger point with wrestling fans in general.
Okay.
So apparently, a lot of people considered this to be one of the worst Raws they'd ever seen. I watched it not thinking anything of it at all. Like, it was perfectly fine. In fact, there were parts of it I liked. And Shiksa in the chat, by the way, says, "Don't test me, Jack. I've spotted people in those crowds." Shiksa, if you do spot me, you do replace Phil. That's a real thing.
Wow.
So a lot of people were going to cagematch.net. They were going to all sorts of places where you review Raw, and they were calling it one of the worst Raws they've ever seen. I think it has like a 1.9 or something out of 10 on Cage Match, which is like pretty good authority of like what fans think, right?
What happened?
So-
Can you catch me up to speed? Because I remember Retribution came out, blah blah blah. Then it was like they fought the Hurt Business. I'm trying to remember what else happened. Oh,
Well,
the Mysterio thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I don't understand. I don't like any wrestling fans. I think that's what I'm figuring out. I'm figuring out I don't like any wrestling fans, and I don't like any music fans either. I don't think there's anyone I like. You know what I like? I like animals. I like animals, Jack.
Pretty harmless.
I think I should just move in with a bunch of dogs and cats and monkeys and rabbits, and I'll be happy. I won't have to hear a single person say stupid things about music or wrestling, because that's what grinds my gears, as Peter Griffin would say.
Yeah, I know you're referring directly to me as well when you say that. We're joined by Awesome One 316. What's up, Awesome One?
Hey.
Yo.
Are you gonna
what do you
say
got?
like a bad word? Are you gonna troll us?
Is that what this is? Is this a stream bomb? Is this a Zoom bomb? You know, Baba Booey us or something?
Hey, it's Coyote.
Oh, Coyote.
Oh, hey, what's up?
So how's it going?
It's going good. I currently hate Jack right now, but I mean, what else is new?
Yeah, what else is new? It's true. Coyote, what did you think of Retribution on Raw? What did you think of these names, these reveals, these masks they were wearing? Because a lot of people didn't like it.
Slapjack's mask looks like he just got bored in catering and took a Sharpie and a pair of scissors too.
I did see that from CM Punk. I actually personally like Slapjack's mask a lot. I like T-Bar's mask a lot. Can I say that? And I don't know. I feel like he gives me like a teenage Jason Voorhees kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? I'm not comparing him to that high of a pedestal.
Right.
But Slapjack, possibly my favorite wrestler, and it's not just because we share a name.
I guess so.
Hey, remember the cartoon Flapjack? That was a good cartoon.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Phil, what did you think of
Never
Retro?
saw that? Jesus Christ. Hold on. Do you remember Chowder?
Yes.
Yeah, Chowder and the Misadventures of Flapjack slapped.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
They slapjacked, if you will.
Exactly. Encourage the Cowardly Dog. Another one. Honestly, after this, I might just go watch that. Put a little bit of Danny Phantom in the mix.
Danny Phantom, definitely an underrated show. Coyote, got anything else for us?
I guess keep up the great work, and Jack, Pantera's not Screamo.
Thank you, Coyote. I love you.
Yeah, hanging up on him. Coyote, thank you for your call if you're in the chat still. Pantera is Screamo.
Pantera is not Screamo. Like, people are actually going to hear this and really not want to listen to this podcast. Like, that is real. Like, you might as well just, in a serious manner, say that wrestling is fake. It's equivalent to doing that.
So this Raw
I just want to point out one other thing. Jack's favorite band, the lead singer came out as a furry. And
It's not my favorite band. They're like
that's who Jack looks up to. I just want to point that out. It's a little bit weird.
I can't confirm or deny. You ever heard of this guy Bryan Alvarez?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's your
so
boy.
it's my boy.
That's
Is it
your
really?
Band's, yeah.
Yeah. So the thing about Bryan Alvarez, I think he epitomizes really well the type of wrestling fan that you often say you hate, and that I often agree with as well.
Right.
The wrestling fan who basically hates everything WWE, no matter what it is, and often will stick up for AEW or the Indies or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Exclusively, or they'll use that as a measuring stick for WWE, even if there's not really a real comparison to be made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think about Bryan Alvarez? Because he hosts a show with Dave Meltzer. He definitely thinks a lot of himself, and he definitely had a lot of thoughts about Raw.
I think he's an idiot. I think he's worse than you, and that's saying a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. I would, if I had a choice, I'd pick you. Yeah.
Wow. Hey, at least there's finally a situation where you pick me.
How much does that mean to you? Does it mean a lot?
honestly, it's like I'm like the Grinch.
Speech.
My heart has grown 3 sizes today. Was that thing from the Grinch? That thing.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So Bryan Alvarez, he did a 10-minute rant that's on YouTube about how he hated this Raw and how it was one of the worst Raws in his entire lifetime.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Talk about dragging it.
What?
I said, talk about dragging it. Like, oh my god, it's not bad at all. Actually, I feel like every Raw has been pretty good. I've been enjoying Raw a lot. To the point of where I don't even want to pick AEW or WWE. I think they both are very good products right now.
Well, you know what's funny is I actually thought that Raw last night when I was there live, not to brag, not on camera or anything, but when I was there live, fandangoing, talking shit to the producer, etc. I thought that Raw was not very good, to be honest. I was not a fan of that Raw. I thought it was kind of boring.
I think you were just sad.
But the week before.
No, actually, I don't think it was. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like anything amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
So
maybe I expected I'd at least be on TV, and maybe that's what let me down about it.
Yeah, that kind of let you down too. Well, I thought it was, especially the ending. Woo.
The
goggles.
Yeah, Bryan Alvarez though. I have this clip of him explaining basically what he didn't like about Raw.
Can we get him on the show?
It's Raw show, everybody. It sucks. It's the worst show. If you don't want to hear this, go do something else. Go find a podcast if it's out there. I mean, maybe you can listen to Bruce Pritchard's podcast. Maybe there's one podcast out there that's going to tell you that the show was any good.
Oh, hey, wait, that's us. He's talking about us.
Yeah, I think that's a plug.
He basically just said, go check out FightGeist, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I heard come out of his mouth. Wait.
Well,
he forgot to say our names, though. And he forgot to say the name of the podcast as well. So it's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, he should say, it should be something like this.
Go do something else. Go find a podcast if it's out.
Such as FightGeist, which you can find at twitch.tv/FightGeist Wrestling every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Out there. I mean, maybe you can listen to Bruce Pritchard's podcast.
Well, no, not that one. But so he says, that whole thing.
Sucked. One of the worst Raws I ever saw. Atrocious in every way. There were 2 good things on the show.
Now, I don't know how much you remember about this episode, but I can tell you there were not 2 good things on this Raw.
I'm trying to remember. We had... That was when... was that the one where Seth revealed that she's not... That Ray's not the father? Was it that one?
Yes, that was
So we had that. We had that whole thing. We had Buddy Murphy coming next to Aaliyah and talking. All right, that's drama. We had Retribution coming out, which I wish there were more masks. Like, I know it's Mia Yim, and it bugs me.
Right.
Like, I don't want to know who it is right now. You know what I mean?
I think
knowing that it's her, and knowing who they are, it was like, oh man. Like, if they were like completely masked, it would have been cooler. That was the only bad thing. But we had that. We had the Hurt Business. What else do we have? I'm trying to remember.
Well, yeah, I think that whole... You're right about that they... it was pretty obvious who a lot of these Retribution people were, but honestly, that is my only problem with the segment and with the reveal.
Yeah, I wish it was, like, something different. Like, they were all in masks, and then it's like... Like, when Kane took his mask off, that was dramatic. That traumatized little kids. That's what we need.
Traumatized you?
Little kids. I remember seeing it for the first time on YouTube, though, in, like, what? Like, 07 or something. And I was like, whoa! And there was a song. Do you remember the song? It was some song. It was like, I'm a pickle or something. And it showed Kane. Yeah, I'm gonna find this. Play the thing, though.
Was destroying everything. They were running roughshod. They were doing whatever they wanted. And so in storyline, in order to solve this problem, WWE signed them to contracts where we are told they can do whatever they want. So we've gone from a group that was destroying WWE for free to a group that is now destroying WWE, and WWE is paying them to destroy the company.
So, okay, first of all, I want to get your opinion on this because this was probably a controversial side of the Retribution thing, that the idea that they're being signed to contracts.
Yeah, I thought it was a little weird. Like, I wish it was like a thing where it was like they showed it, like they all raided the I don't know, the headquarters or something, and made WWE to give them a contract. Made WWE give them a contract, forced them to get a contract or something like that. It kind of just happened, and it makes you think like, oh wow, we're being worked. I don't know. It's cool, but I wish there was more substance to it. Like, how did they get a contract? Did like they stomped into the office of McMahon and like roughed them up, and they got a contract because of that? Like, I want to know more about that. That's the only thing. It's like a little weird. It's a little bland, the way that they got the contract. But I mean, it's still kind of cool.
Well, here's the thing. I would agree with that, but I think what we're forgetting, and what a lot of people are forgetting, is the fact that these are supposed to be wrestlers. I mean, we know that they're wrestlers who are in NXT, but that's also the gimmick. That's also the storyline. The fact that they were treated wrong by WWE, they were buried or whatever, and that's why they're getting, quote, retribution. So they're signed to contracts already. Isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah, as you're saying this, I was like, wait, aren't they signed the contracts already? You're so right. Yeah, so now I'm confused. Yeah, now it doesn't make sense. And the fact that they showed Mia Yim now, while she's on NXT, fighting Dakota Kai, I'm just like, alright, well, yeah, that part just doesn't really make sense. But I don't know. Yeah. It's still cool. I'm loving this whole Retribution thing, but geez, that doesn't make sense at all. And now I'm a little annoyed about it.
Yeah, I don't know why they would act like they weren't already signed if they're going to have them under contracts in the storyline. And if they were going to pretend that they were made-up people, like totally new wrestlers, which they really can't do in this case, then they shouldn't, sign them to contracts or whatever. So either way, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I think Bryan Alvarez, somebody who's supposed to be a wrestling journalist and supposed to be like a professional in this, by the way, douchiest voice in radio, and he should be somebody who could look at this with a critical lens and think, because wrestling, not something you really have to analyze that much. It's made for children. But the fact that these wrestlers are wrestlers who work for WWE, who work for NXT, and that's been established that they're getting revenge on the company that wronged them, should make it pretty obvious why they're signed to contracts. So I don't understand this, man.
Very weird. Doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know what's happening.
Storyline. Don't look at me.
We're not.
So, from there, they show up and they destroy a bunch of stuff, and we set up the Hurt Business versus Retribution for the main event. Hurt Business are heels, but they're fighting as baby faces in the main event tonight.
Now, this was a line that made me kind of pissed off, too, because you mentioned, I think last week, that you really liked the idea of the Hurt Business having to, quote-unquote, play babyface in this match and go after Retribution or, like, defend the company from Retribution. And I agree with that, but I think it shouldn't even be looked at as they're playing babyface, because when you look at a show like this, there's a bunch of different wrestlers who have played different gimmicks before. You have Cedric Alexander, who just turned heel. He was a quote-unquote babyface recently, very recently. And so if you want to say that they're heels, but they're playing babyface for one match, these are not necessarily just a person who's just like, oh, this is Darth Vader, pure evil, or whatever. I guess even Darth Vader's not. It's not even an example, because these are supposed to be complex characters, right? We should at least want them to be complex characters. We should not want them to be, this guy comes in and he's a good guy, period. He will only ever do these good, quote-unquote, good things. These things that I look at as good and think are good. This guy's a bad guy, and he will only ever do bad things. He will murder your family and just walk away, and that's it. And then when one day he turns face, we'll forget about all that stuff. Honestly, WWE does that exact thing kind of a lot, which is what originally a while back annoyed me about, like the Drew McIntyre face turn, which we had a whole argument about too. But like, I like when characters can be presented as complex and they have real motivations.
That's kind of like what Kevin Owens is doing right now, because he talks about, oh yeah, I did these things in my past and this and that, and he's like still a heel at heart, but he's a good guy. I'm digging Kevin Owens right now.
Yeah, exactly. And Samoa Joe, actually, a similar situation too, where he's basically a heel. Like, we know that he's done some bad. Yeah, he's got some violent tendencies, obviously, but he's got real opinions,
Yeah, dude, like the whole thing with Seth Rollins, that was so cool, because he's just a bad guy. But it's like Seth, he was like, nah. I don't know, I thought that was so cool. Like, he does not like Seth at all, but he's still a bad guy. Like, on I think it was Raw Talk or whatever, he was being a straight up heel, and it was great. And you know what else? You know what I really love? The Hurt Business, how they just do piece of trash things backstage. Like MVP drinking water. Hey boss, clean that up. Like just stuff like that. Yeah, the thing last night. The thing that's like, you're in my seat. You're still in my seat. You're gonna take my food? I thought that was the greatest thing. I love that. I love that so much.
Which is why you can't, like, obviously they're being assholes in that one context, and also on top of that, what they did for I forget who, Adam Pearce, right? They volunteered to take out Retribution to help him, right?
Yeah.
The reason they did that is because they wanted to get paid for it, or they wanted to have some sort of protection, not have the company lash out because they realized that they're going to be, her business is the only line of defense against Retribution.
Exactly.
So
and they're smart. They're smart. Yeah. This is all business. If Retribution ruins WWE, then they're not going to be making money. Something bad's going to happen to them. So it's smart, and they have to prove how tough they are. And if they destroy Retribution, imagine how much more powerful they become. And they're heels. They're just going to take over the world. I don't know. I don't get how people don't see it like this.
I know exactly.
This is a grown man.
Yeah, the classic grown man argument. Yeah, he. I don't know why he has to see this as like a dichotomy, because they're not playing babyface in this specific match. They're going to be more sympathetic because Retribution's a more dominant force, but they're both heels, and they can both be heels, but they can also be more than that.
Exactly.
So he goes on. He goes on and he starts talking about a different segment of the show.
We then have a number one contenders match. Mickie James, who tapped out last week to Asuka, she faces Zelina the manager to determine the number one contender at the pay-per-view. Zelina beats Mickie clean in the middle of the ring. It is now Zelina the manager versus Asuka for the... Does anybody care about this match? Anybody?
Zelina the manager.
Oh, I'm raising my hand right now. Well, you said raise your hand, right?
Yeah, mine is up.
Okay, I got two up. So, I'm confused by this because he says, first of all, he has to emphasize Zelina the manager, right? As if she's not a wrestler.
As if she hasn't been wrestling for years.
Exactly.
What an idiot.
Kind of disrespectful, but she's not a great wrestler.
Disrespectful, yeah.
Yeah,
but
she's
not...
not...
TNA and all that, like, he's acting like she's just a manager.
Yeah, when she debuted as a manager, you could have called her Zelina the wrestler, It's just kind of weird, but on top of that, she didn't beat Mickie James clean. Didn't she have a brass knuckles or something?
Yeah. Yeah, she did, right? Yeah.
So I don't know if this guy watches the show, but I definitely do, and I definitely say something different than him.
I can't believe people actually listen to these types of people. This is exactly why I hate wrestling fans. And then with music, it gets even worse. Not even going down that right now.
I bet. But the last thing that I wanted to harp on here is he goes to the main event. He talks about the Hurt Business Retribution match, and he's just got this weird perspective on it.
They have a match, and as God is my witness, the finish is Lashley puts the full Nelson on Slapjack, and T-Bar on the outside punches Lashley, which in this case does not count as a save. It is the illegal man touching the legal man in a tag team match. It's a disqualification, to which Tom Phillips screams, illegal man makes contact with the legal man. I told you about this rule 6 months ago when they did this on another show, and I had all these people on Reddit explaining that that's not actually the rule. Brian doesn't know what he's talking about. I got that straight from an agent. And they did the same damn finish last night, so don't even tell me it's not a rule.
So that pisses me off for a couple of reasons. First of all, he did not get shit directly from an agent. That's a lie.
Yeah, of course.
Dave Meltzer says he has sources. He has sources on the inside, and then half his information is fake. It's made up.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's what these people do, because, well, he says it right there. I had people on Reddit because that's what he wants. That's all he wants, is he wants his attention from the people who will either disagree with him or more likely agree with him, like the 3.1 thousand people who agree with him on this video. And all the people in the fucking comments. Like, don't get me started on the comment section of this video. It's ridiculous. It's people who want to hate... Jesus Christ, something almost fell off my shelf.
Whoa.
It's people who want to hate wrestling for the sake of hating wrestling. And obviously, he just wants to show off and make himself seem a little bit more reputable, so he'll go, I got this directly from an agent, and you told me it wasn't true. You didn't get shit from an agent. He doesn't know anybody on the inside, right?
No, he's an idiot. And I want to point out what Jomo said. Jomo said, why do we listen to a man who can't even run the ropes? Exactly. Like,
Yep.
no one knows anything. No one knows anything at all. Like, it's so stupid how much these people act like they know wrestling when they don't know a thing. Not a thing. There's so much that people don't know. And they do things like this, and it's just, wow. It blows my mind. It completely blows my mind. But,
yeah.
Thank you for saying that, Jomo. It's so true.
I'm glad we agree on something for once. We so rarely do.
This is what makes me hate wrestling. But then, I go watch the odds there, and I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's the fans that make you hate wrestling, but then the wrestling brings you back in.
The fans are just absolutely horrible. Horrible.
Yeah. And for example, people in this comment section here, I just want to read two of these because these are just really cringeworthy in the way that they think. They probably think Bryan, what's his name? Bryan Alvarez is going to see these. This one guy says, I described Retribution to my roommate who doesn't watch wrestling, and by the end he thought I was on meth or something. So, did I miss something? Or is Retribution suddenly the most fever dream ridiculous storyline WWE'd ever come up with? A bunch of people decide to attack the building and decide to attack wrestlers.
Oh yeah, it's so dumb.
The roommate who
I
doesn't
bet
watch...
he loves the Dark Order.
100%. It's the same thing. Right. Yeah. And I'm sure that Bryan Alvarez likes Dark Order too. But speaking of AEW, this other comment here says, two kids, Lee Johnson and Ben Carter just blew everything from Raw out of the water on AEW's free YouTube show. So, I watched this match on AEW Dark that they're referring to, right? Ben Carter and Lee Johnson. Right. They're both pretty talented. It was a 5-minute match where they did a couple moves and then went to the pin. So, I'm sorry, did that blow Raw out of the water?
Oh boy, was it a shoulder tackle, drop down leapfrog, arm drag, body slam, pin? Oh, get up. Oh, Irish into the corner. Oh, get out the corner. Oh, do an enziguri. I'm assuming that was the whole entire match. Oh my God, is he gonna do a 450 splash? What? Oh my God, he's so talented. Oh my God, yeah. That's probably exactly what the match was.
I've seen better matches and more interesting matches from you at BWF on Instagram, so that'll give you an indication.
Yeah, my spots are great. Well, I mean, I didn't see the match, so I can't talk that much trash. But you get my point.
Yeah, no, 100%. It was not a bad match. It was just a match. Like,
was it a typical indie show match that you would say, "Wow, that was really cool"?
100%.
Yeah.
It was but even worse than that because it wasn't even interesting because it was just a couple of spots and then it ended. It wasn't like it didn't feel like anything different. It was like it felt like a dark match or like something like that. But and I guess it was because it was an AEW Dark.
I'm sure the match was good, but I'm mad right now.
Are you mad right now?
Oh my God.
There is one more question I wanted to ask you, Phil.
What?
Have you heard of the Alternative Wrestling Podcast?
Yeah, I heard of that.
Yeah, I heard it's kind of cool.
Someone on a train was telling me about it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
We're that big now?
Yeah.
Well, FM radio, I mean, it gets around, it gets to people in different states and stuff. But, I wasn't even talking about us, FightGeist, right? The Alternative Wrestling Podcast. That's what we call ourselves. I was actually talking about something different. It's called the Alternative Wrestling Podcast Volume 1. And it's coming this week to YouTube, to podcast platforms, everywhere else. And what this is it's what you might call a best of, what you might call a compilation. Right. And for those of you who are new to FightGeist and have not gone back to the archives and have not gone back to hear a whole bunch of episodes of our greatest segments and our greatest moments and our greatest arguments and whatever, that is the perfect introduction. If you want to show your friends and you want to show your family what FightGeist is all about, that's the introduction. I'm working on it right now. I'm putting together segments, which means if you guys want something specific added to it, let me know right away because I will add segments that you guys think were among our best segments no matter what because I want this to be the most accessible version of FightGeist we've ever made. So you heard it here first. The Alternative Wrestling Podcast Volume 1 is coming this week to all platforms.
Oh, this is very exciting. This is our highlight video number 1. This is great. It's the end of an era, just so you guys know. You guys see this really cool little SmackDown vs. Raw themed whole setup going on here? Well, No longer will you see that. It's the end of an era where we are coming to our 30th episode. And we are just going to keep growing and getting bigger and being the best. Being the alternative wrestling podcast. Because we are FightGeist.
The alternative wrestling podcast. Oh, we didn't say our nicknames.
I hate Bryan Alvarez.
I am not a pedophile. I am not a pedophile. Hey, I'm Jack Peterson. I'm Ajax. I'm Mr. Clean. I'm Slapjack. I'm Tomato Guy. I'm Mr. Trivia. I'm Mr. Tomato.
Me too.
You're all those things too?
Yes.
The more things change, the less they say. The more things change, the more they stay the same.